Hello. All right, everyone. I am going to do a screencast here about GarageBand. My name is Brady Nash from Austin, Texas. It's my first one, so bear with me. So, some of the features and affordances of this program. It's a free recording and audio production software that is available only on Macs. It's easy to get started, but for those students or teachers who are interested in going deeper, it does offer a deeper set of features. You could use that for differentiation in classroom. And also, if you use it with your kids to record read-alouds, it also introduces them to a program and starts to build a literacy with that program that they could use for other things as well. And you can export the files and share them so students could listen to each other's, or you could share them online if you would like. I'm imagining using it here as a tool to record students reading printed text to support fluency and listening to the reading of printed text to support them building fluency. Some of the constraints, like I said, it's only available on Macs. It comes free with each Mac computer, but of course you have to buy a Mac computer, which is fairly expensive. Some of the features cost additional money. If you are going to add wood synths to your recording, for example, it sends you click on the button for that, and it sends you to the Apple Store where they ask you to pay $10 to download the wood synth pack or something like that. The program, while it's relatively simple to get started, is not as simple as something like Sound Recorder on Windows, which has only a few buttons. So without explicit instruction, I could see it being confusing for students, and without some time to dig into it, I could see it being confusing for any new user. And lastly, it functions only within Apple's ecosystem. So if you're having a bunch of students use it, it's sort of positioning them as these future Apple consumers, which is a concern of mine, is how the ways that we use technology in classes, potentially setting students up in particular ways to be consumers, particularly given all of the inroads that technology companies are seeking to make in public education. So products, the demonstration that I will do soon shows a very simple use of GarageBand. It's to have students record their own read-alouds of printed text and then share those read-alouds with other students. So some of the learning objectives I would imagine for this lesson: students building fluency by reading text aloud and listening to others, building a digital literacy by creating and consuming audio using a digital recording software. And then I think this depends on how you want to use it in your classroom, but I've used it to add music and sound effects and have kids choose their music and sound effects, which has helped them kind of make sense of and comprehend different texts that they've used it with. So as they add the sound and music, it helps them kind of have an experience to connect the words to, and that's helped them remember it and make meaning of it. Yeah. So I'll share a student example, something that one of my students created in GarageBand. And this is from a student whose native language was not English, so she was working on her oral fluency. She's pretty good, and I'll play that here.
The leaves of the trees fell, and the ice had begun to melt. But I kept my head fixed on the same point, wondering.
All right. So that's one example. And then I'll give a little demonstration here. So the instructions are listed here, but I'll take you through them visually, and I'm happy to share this presentation as well. So you go to Applications, and you click on GarageBand. That will open up a box that looks like this. And let me minimize the other windows to make this easier. So that opens a box that looks like this. You click on Voice, you choose that. It'll have you create a file, so we'll just call it Screencast Test. And it opens up something that looks like this, and you've got your voice track. Now to start recording, you'll click Record here. To stop recording, you'll click here again to stop. So I'm going to do a poem by Gwendolyn Brooks called We Real Cool. So I'm recording, and I have to pull up the text to read it to you. The pool players, 7 at the golden shovel. We real cool. We left school. We lurk late. We strike straight. We sing sin. We thin gin. We jazz June. We die soon. So stop my recording, and I can go back and listen to it. There's 7 at the golden shovel. We real. All right. And something cool about this poem is the author of it, Gwendolyn Brooks, has a very famous reading of the poem. So I used this in my class once, and we compared my reading with students' reading with the author's reading, and hers is very fun, so I'll play that for you also.
The pool players, 7 at the golden shovel. We real cool, we left school, we learn late, we strike straight, we sing sin, we then gin, we jazz June, we die soon. I'm going to read you 3 more.
So there's the lovely Gwendolyn Brooks. You can see we have the text here. So when you're done the recording, you find the window. All right, so to export your file or to save your file, you'll go to Share and then Send Song to iTunes. When you do that, it'll ask you to give it whatever names you want. Then you click Share, which I'm not going to do right now because I already did it and it's there. And then you open iTunes and it'll be there wherever you sent it. So this sent it to something called BN's playlist. Those are my initials. And you can play it. Golden shovel. You can play it there. All right. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy GarageBand.